Welcome to Thinkeroo. You know, I used to think that Venus was the hottest planet in the solar system because it's the closest one to the sun. But then I learned something that totally blew my mind. Venus is actually the hottest planet in the solar system, even though Mercury is closer to the sun. You see, all the heat from the sun's radiation hits Venus's thick clouds, and those clouds trap the heat like a giant oven. So the heat from the sun's radiation can't escape back into space. And because of that, Venus is super hot. In fact, the temperature on Venus is hot enough to melt lead. That's how hot Venus is. The reason why Mercury isn't as hot as Venus is because it doesn't have any significant atmosphere to speak of. So the heat from the sun's radiation can just escape back into space. Now, I used to think that the air on Venus would be super thin because it's so far away from Earth. But I learned something that totally blew my mind. The air pressure on Venus is actually really high, like 90 times higher than Earth's air pressure. That's how thick the atmosphere on Venus is. If you were on Venus, it would feel like you were being crushed by the weight of the atmosphere. And to make things even crazier, the clouds on Venus are made out of sulfuric acid. That's the same stuff that's in car batteries. And on Venus, those clouds are super thick and they cover the entire planet. If you were on Venus, you wouldn't be able to see the sun because the clouds are so thick. It would be like being in a cloud on Earth, except it would be much, much hotter. And to make things even more crazy, the winds on Venus blow at over 200 miles per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. So if you were on Venus, you would be blown away by the winds. Now, despite all this, people still want to explore Venus. We've sent a lot of spacecraft to Venus, but most of them have crashed because Venus is such a harsh planet. One of the only spacecraft that successfully landed on Venus was the Venera 7, which landed in 1970. It managed to take this amazing photo of the Venusian landscape before it was crushed by the atmosphere. I hope that one day we can explore Venus in more detail. But until then, we'll just have to imagine what it would be like to be on the hottest planet in the solar system. Thanks for watching. And remember, space is big and scary, but also beautiful and amazing.